Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. This is part 3 of our Beyond Library Max build. Last time around, we got the whole right wall and all of the wonderful detail that went with it. And today, I believe we're going to be doing the left wall. So why don't we just come right in and get started. Alrighty, so here is what we will need to kick off part 3 of this build. And it's going to start exactly as it did in part 2. So we're going to pull out G27 here. We're going to throw in J8, 9, 10, 11, and G23. All of them have these big tabs on the bottom. I don't know if that's coming in. And big slots here for them to fit into. And look at that. Moving on, we're going to do the same thing here with J5. And this has got J12, 13, 14, 15, and G22. Ooh yeah. All right. With this in place, we're going to take J4 here, make sure the angled slot is facing forward and lower. And that will go in right here, just like this. And we can bring out G27 for the top slot here. Boom. All right, now we have 2 G26s, and we'll just follow suit. And now we've got J3. This has that tab on the one side. The tab is going to be on the top, and it's going to go right in the corner here. Just like that. Some of these are very, very loose. If you're having trouble, go ahead and glue them. I am going to go ahead and glue these 2 right here because these are pretty loose. I'll be right back when I'm done with the glue. Okay, they're glued in. Glue's not dry yet, but it's fine. It will dry clear. In case you guys are wondering, I use Eileen's tacky glue for this. Works beautifully. All right, next up, we're going to take J2, and that's going to go into the angled slots. Just like this. Beautiful. Now, we're going to get this, which is J1, and we've got J16, 17, 18, 19, and G21 to finish it off. Excellent. Now this is just going to sit on the bottom here with these sliding in, and we have J7 here to hold it in place. This little tab right here, make sure that's facing the rear. These 2 holes will go into these 2 tabs here, and this tab will go into that little slot. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now we can close this off. You can see there are 3 tabs here, and we have 2 holes and a slot for this as well. There's also a little slot right here. Make sure this is facing rear, so you want the unpainted side facing outwards here. All right, and with this assembled, you can see there are 4 tabs on the back, and those will go into these 4 slots on H1. And look at that. We've got our first little bit ready to rock and roll. Awesome. Let's see what's next. All right, next up, for this angled shelf here, we are going to be gluing in these. These are 5 S1s and 4 S2 sheets, just kind of glued on there as we have done so many times already. So let me go ahead and just glue those in. I'll show you what the final thing looks like and we can move on. And there it is, looking spectacular. And now we can move on. Okay, so now we're gonna start building the next level. We're gonna start with some stairs. We've got J30. J32 goes in the bottom. Make sure that one side has a little pinhole in it, and it is not the side that we're going to be pushing into this little hole here. There we go. And we're going to follow that up with J33, just like that. And right here we have J31. There we go. And we will follow that up with J34 and then J26 on top. All right, look at that. One staircase ready, on to the next. All right, for this one, we've got J28 on one side, J27 on the other. And then we're gonna use 3 J29s for the bottom 3 stairs. And then we've got J25 for the top stair, and it's got a little pinhole, and that has got to go into J28, like that. So the pinhole will be on the left of the top stair. All right, and there we go. Another staircase ready to rock and roll. And now we're gonna pull out, yeah, there we go, okay. This is J22. The staircase we just did will go on this side here. There's 2 little holes for the posts at the bottom of the stairs. Get those in. Just like that. And over here we've got these 2 tabs. That is where these will go. And there you go. We are coming along. Then we're gonna build us a little desk of sorts. So we've got K14, this is K12. It'll go into these 2 holes just like that. Follow it up with K13 on the end. Man, this is not holding in tightly at all. I may have to glue some of this. We'll see. We got K17 on the top. This little slot on the back. Make sure that's here at K13. Yeah, everything here is just so loose. I'm gonna have to glue this together. So let me go ahead and glue it and I will be right back. All right, glue's still drying, but while it is, we can take K8 here and we will push this in here. Also very loose, so that's also gonna have to get some glue in there. Okay, we're gonna have to let that dry for a bit, but while it is, we can build out some of the accessories. So right here, we have 2 K4s, and they're gonna be glued together just like this, with K5 glued right on top of them. So it should look a little something like that when you're done. So let me get those glued together. Okay, so it should look a little something like that. Gonna let that glue dry now. And while we're waiting on that, we can build the gramophone. We have 2 K7s and a K3. And the K7s are gonna glue on either side. So one on that side, one on this side. Should look something like that. So let me go ahead and get that glue in. And there you go. All right, with all of those glued in, you've got 3 spots on top of the desk for these to go, with K9 coming in on this side. Oh man, none of these tabs are fitting smoothly. See, K7 will go in here. Yeah, that'll have to be glued. And the projector will go in the center, and that also will have to be glued. We go ahead and glue all of that in. Okay, that is the orientation it should be in. And you'll notice we have a nice big open area here. That is for some books C. Those also will have to be glued in place. So let me make my selection. You can fill this however you wish with your books. I'll go ahead and make my selection, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. And there you go. Ready to rock and roll. Just gotta let the glue dry a little bit. But while we do, we can move on. All right, we're gonna take K1. We're gonna go ahead and throw J24 here on the end. And J23 will go right here. With J21 going in right here. All right. Now we're going to attach it to our stairs. There are 2 holes here and 2 holes here. That should match up with those posts. Let's see how tight a fit that is and whether or not we're going to have to glue those too. Well, these are fitting nice and tight, but as you can see, the stairs came right out. So I'm gonna have to glue those in too. All right, it's weird. We didn't have any of these fit issues on the other side for part 2, only here. So it's really odd. But it is what it is. Hopefully that does not apply to this. This is U23. And that is going to fill in the back here and then come up the stairs. So, yeah, the little pinhole should be right there. And that will go there. So, we'll take the film off. We will fold it appropriately and get this puppy in there. Look at that. All right, now we're gonna bring our desk out. And that should, there's 2 slots right there, should go right in. It's, yeah, still a little loose for my taste, so we'll glue that in as well. All right, and now we've got 2 S8s, that are these, and they're going to be glued leaning up against the desk here. So let me go ahead and glue those in. And it should look a little something like that. And to finish it off, we'll bring out this puppy. And there are 2 tabs here, there are 2 slots there. We'll just slide it right in. And this is what we're left with. How freaking awesome! Alrighty, time to start building out the 2nd floor shelving. So, we're gonna kick things off over here with 3 of these K29 pieces. And we're gonna throw them onto K10. Make sure that this thinner edge is facing upwards, and that if you look at this, the notch is off center, so make sure the short end is facing towards the right. So it should go in like that, and we just do that with all three. Look at that. And then we're going to bookend it with K24 on this side and K20 on this side. Oh wait, almost forgot. We also have K28, and this is going to go in the angled one in the front. Just like that. Now we're going to bookend it. So K24's got the big tab on the back side. That'll go on the left here, just like this. And K20 here will go on the right. There you go, one set of shelves, ready to rock and roll. Now these things fit in pretty loose, so I'm gonna glue those in, and I'll be right back. All right, while we're waiting for that to dry, we'll come down here. We've got K21, and this is P6. Just slide right in there. This is K22 and P5. Again, it'll just slide right in. And K26 and M26. And again, it'll just slide right in. Now these are fitting very loose again, so let's glue them in. All right, and those can keep drying while we go. But we've got K19 here, that'll go vertical. We've got 3 slots right here that these will slide into. Just like that. We'll do both, or excuse me, all 3, actually. All right. There we go with that. And now we're going to add a K23 to the end here. And this one is K25, and that'll slide into the center slots just like that. All right. And this came in pretty loose, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that in as well, and I'll be right back when I do. All right, this is the final product there. So now we have 2 sets of shelves, and we can bring out this. This is K27. This is M25, and that will slide in here. That actually that actually fit pretty well, so no glue needed there. There are 4 holes here. Well, 3 holes and then this little tab. That is where these little pegs will go, and then the other shelf will go on this side. All right, should look a little something like this when you're done, and it's time to pull out the siding. So we'll just bring this on out. You can see we've got 2 slots here, another one here. That's where all this is gonna go. All right, look at that. Beautiful. And now it's time to fill in the shelves. So these right here are basically going to be moved over to here in this order. And we have M15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 with 2 S4s and an S3 for the little angled shelf here. And over here we have M7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 to go over here. So this is just going to be about as basic as it gets as far as gluing is concerned. And we've also got M29 here, and that will slide in and be glued right there. So let me go ahead and get all of this glued in, and I will be right back. Alrighty, and that is what it'll look like when it's fully assembled there. We're not quite done just yet. Obviously we gotta wait for the glue to dry, but we also have the final stickers. So we've got the drapes here, which will go on either side of the window, and the crown that'll go across the top. So let me go ahead and get those in. I'll show you what it looks like. And there it is. The stickers are in, the shelving is in, the books are in. It's just a matter of waiting for the glue to dry, and we can move on. All right, moving on. We have M33, and you can see it's got a little T slot in there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take M4, we're gonna push it in the cross of that T, and it should go in pretty deep so that you've got some sticking out there, okay? We follow that up with M5, just slide in like that. And then we've got M18, which will slot in just like so. Boom. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the final open book that we created. We're gonna glue that on there, and then the whole thing will be slotted right there. So let me go ahead and get that done. Perfect, look at that. And then we're gonna follow it up with this, which is U24. And that's basically gonna fill in the little gap right here on the fencing. Look at that. That is gorgeous. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, here's what we need for the next bit. We're gonna start building that balcony and finishing off the railings. So we're gonna kick things off with K18 here. And we've got K16. Now this is a step, one of those special steps. It's got a little pinhole in each side. That's gonna go on the bottom, okay? And then we're gonna follow that up with K11 on the other side. And this is definitely gonna have to get some glue in there. This is way too loose. And then we've got 6 K15s to fill in the rest of the steps. Okay, and with all the steps in place, we're gonna bring out J20 here, and they're just gonna fit right in here. There's a little slot here and a hole here for those 2 posts on the top. Yeah, those are a little loose too, so we're gonna get some glue into those as well. Perfect. Obviously, the glue needs to dry a little bit, but this is looking great. And while we're waiting, there's 2 little slots here, and that is where K30 here is gonna slot in, just like that. And we can take K6, and that'll just slide in right here. That's gonna need a little glue too. That's a little loose as well. All right. Now we can do the remaining railings here. We've got U5, U16, and U18. U5 will go here, U16 will be the inner railing, U18 will be the outer railing, and this final coverage over there. And then the whole thing will just slot right in. So let's go ahead and get all that done. Look at this. All right, now for placement, it's gonna go right in here just above the second set of books. And there are two slots here to go around these two supports. So let's go ahead and get that in. All right, it should look a little something like this when you're done. Lines up perfectly. Yeah, absolutely. Now I will say down here, it's a little bit off, but there's no posts to hold it in place. So what I'm gonna do is put a little glue in just to help stabilize it. Okay, next up, I'm gonna take H5 here, and we've got these little holes on the side. There's 4 of them. Those will go onto these 4 posts, and another big tab along the bottom, and that will go in to that slot there. Just like that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then we're gonna take M32, which I'm just tossing around, and that is gonna go into the top here. And I'm not, oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got a little tab right here, and we got another one right there. So this one will go on the slot. This one will go on the one that's in the middle. Let's see how well that fits. There you go. That is pretty much a perfect fit. And we're gonna follow that up with M3 and with, or excuse me, M31, my bad. And you'll notice there's like a little cutout here and then a longer tab here. This is going towards the rear. So there is a hole right here that it'll slide into. And then this should sit on top of that one to make it a nice fit. Now this is definitely gonna have to be glued in. No question about it. So let me get that done. All right, now while we're waiting for this to dry, and you're kind of gonna wanna do this quickly, it does leave a gap here. And then of course you've got a corresponding gap here. That is for M3. So let's just slot that in before the glue dries. There we go. Make it nice and tight and ready to rock and roll. Gorgeous on the roof trim there. And now we've got U15 and 17. This is U15. This is U17. And those will finish off the railings along the stairway here. And then we'll follow this up with U12 and U10. U12 will finish off the railing on this end. U10 will finish off the railing on this lower level here. So let's go ahead and get all of that in as well. Look at that. All of the railings are complete. Oh my Lord, this whole thing is just coming together beautifully. Let's see what's next. All right, y'all, it is time for the final push here on part 3. Over here, we've got M27, Q1, Q2, P2, and then M1. This is Q3. Q3 is going to go onto Q2 just like that. It's pretty loose. I'm going to have to glue that for sure. So those are going to go onto our piece into all of these slots, and then we're going to cover it with K2. So let me go ahead and get all of that in place. And it should look a little something like that when you're done. All right. And with that done, we can take M2 here, and that'll slide into this front slot. Just like that for a nice tight grip. And we're going to finish it off with M28 here. The 2 tab side goes on the bottom. There's a slot here and another one right there. So it should go in like this. Just like that. And that, my friends, is our final bookshelf. Now before we get into the rest of these pieces, we're going to have to populate that bookshelf. And we're going to be using Books C again to fill it out. And this is, again, personal preference as to how you want to lay them out. I will do my best to follow the template in the guide. The one caveat being on the top shelf, we're going to be putting in U8 somewhere between the books. So I'll go ahead and pop that out. I will follow the guide, and I will come back and show you what the final result looks like. Alrighty, y'all. So that is what mine looks like, which I think is gorgeous. Obviously we gotta wait for the glue to dry, but this is looking wonderful. Now we can take 04 here, and one side has these little tabs. Those will go into the holes right here. So we've got a little ladder right in front of this shelf. Just like that. Look at that. All right. Last but not least, we've got two M30s, and we've got 7 of these M6 steps for this final ladder. So we're just going to push those all in. Make sure all of the paint is facing the left if you're looking at it directly from the front. So it should look like that when you're done. Obviously we've got to get all 7 steps in, so let me get that done. All right, and with the ladder complete, the bottom has these little posts, and there's 2 more holes right down here for it to go in. Just like that. And the last step here, we're going to bring out the rest of the base that we've done so far. And this is just going to slide in from the side. The only attachment points are these 2 right here. They're right here along the bottom, little slots here. For now, that is all we've got. So let's slide this puppy in. All right, let me go ahead and bring the camera in and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. And here we are. Part 3 of this beautiful piece is now complete. And it looks amazing. Look at the sheer level of detail in here. That is spectacular. Now a lot of it seems to be hidden in shadow, but we haven't got the lights in yet, so that may be corrected. But this looks amazing. That is great. Look at this thing. All right. Well, sadly, that does bring us to the conclusion of part 3 of this Beyond Library Max build. Really hope you guys are enjoying the series. I know I am, and I can't wait to see the finale, which will be coming up next week. If you liked the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.